Hello guys, it is Jaakkoz here, and today I am going to be doing the first part of my 200 subscribers special. And what I'm going to be doing right here is showing pretty much how you can take any random sword texture and then custom make it into whatever you want. So starting off, I'm just going to take a default sword. So you can get a sword like this from any resource pack. Pretty much just type in like default with low fire, and what you're going to want to do is get this program right here called paint.net. It's free to download, no viruses or anything, it's great. And what you want to do is take the diamond sword, open up paint.net. You can drag it in here, or you can hit this open button and go to desktop and then find the diamond sword. So right here we have our basic sword. We can see the resolution down here, 16 by 16. That counts these pixels at the bottom. So if I were to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on, it would be 16 pixels all the way across. But if we want to make this a bit more HD, which we actually do to give the sort of cool texture, I will show you how to do that. But first, this is just a preference for me. I like to take the sword, kind of go around in black. You don't want to misclick or anything, because that makes it a bit harder. Just makes stuff a bit more complicated. And this is just kind of live action, me making a sword. And what I'm going to do here is delete the pixel on the end here so that the blade looks a bit cooler. And then I'll do that last actually. Take the pencil, just click with black, and instead of the sword meeting here, I'll have it meet up at this spot so that it's a bit shorter. And then you're going to take the magic wand tool and you can either hit delete or backspace. Oh, backspace actually fills it, never mind. You're going to want to hit delete to get rid of it. And then there you go. So we have this. I'm actually going to take away these pixels right there. So right now we have this kind of basic texture. And what I'm going to do now is go up here, go to image, resize, and here make sure that this is on nearest neighbor. This is fine. Maintain aspect ratio. That's like making sure. So if I like type something in here, so let's say I want like just whatever, some random number, this won't change. But if I have maintain aspect ratio on and I make this like 16, this is going to be 16. So I'm going to make this sword 128 by 128. So now, because it was on, if we go to image, resize, because it was on nearest neighbor, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like it is still 16 by 16 pixels. But if we go here, we will see there are actually way more pixels in here. But alright, so moving on now. What I'm going to do here is take the magic wand. You can change the tolerance and stuff. Select an area here, and then you're going to want to go to add union. Just kind of go around here and select the bottom there. And what I'm going to do is I kind of want a grayish gradient here. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to take this, the gradient tool. You can change what directions you want. I just want the normal, so I'm going to select here and drag it, maybe. So if you drag it down, it's going to be a bit more black. It all depends on what you do with it. So I want it kind of right here so that it's still kind of shaded. So that should be good. And then go to single again, and so that looks pretty nice. Then I'll go here, magic wand once again, select the bottom piece here, gradient, select, drag, perfect. Now we can move on to the fun stuff, texturing the blade of the sword. So the first thing I'm going to do here is select this and go to adjustments, and then hue and saturation. Now what this does is the lightness, I can change like how light it is, how dark. I'll just move that up to normal. Saturation is like how vibrant the colors are, so if it's really high it's like this but very bright. If it's low it's going to be black and white, and this kind of looks like an iron sword texture. So I'll just have this on normal. Hue is actually going to change the color, and what I want a bit more of a bluish sword, so something like this. So that looks nice. Then after that, oops, keep the blade selected here. Keep it selected. So do the hue and saturation. Make sure you still have the blade selected. Then you can go to effects. There's so many different things you can do here. Like you can just kind of experiment around. I don't personally have that much of a preference for anything, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to go back, select this blue and black kind of colors. It doesn't really matter, and then you should probably, I would go into photo first, because photo is where most of the good effects are, just the ones that look best in my opinion. And I'm going to go to soften portrait. So now, as you can tell, the blade has changed colors, and you can change the softness and stuff a bit. Just change it up however you like it. So let's say I like it like this. I can make the lighting go higher or lower, pretty much changing the brightness, the warmth I can change. So I want it a colder color, and let's say something like this. Don't want it that soft, so this should be fine. Hit OK. And now if I like the way this looks, I can keep it just something like this. And now what you're going to want to do is hit save. So I like this sword, I like it. Or you know what, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the handle texture too, because if I don't, it's going to bother me. So once again, selecting add union, select the 3. Then what I'm going to do is go to effects, photo, soften portrait, and now you can tell it definitely fits in with the rest of the sword way better. It looks really nice. So then we can hit save, hit OK, and now we have our diamond sword. Now you're probably thinking, what if I want a whole set of swords? What if I want a whole set? Well, what I'm going to do right here is go back onto my desktop, hit new, folder, and what I'm going to do is name this sword pack. So we have this. I can take my diamond sword, move it in there, then go here, open, just type in sword pack, go here, open this, open. Now we have the sword twice. I only need this one. And now what I'm going to do is, the hue and saturation tool is very helpful right here. Go to hue and saturation, and you'll see it changes colors. But what I'm going to do is, I like the handle the way it is. So just select the blade. If you get something like this, it's perfectly fine. Just select it again and change up the tolerance a bit. It's going to help you out a lot. And if you can't get the magic wand to be right, if you can't get it the way you want, you can take the rectangle select and just select the pixels that aren't that have not been highlighted or selected, and then we will go here, hue and saturation. As you can tell, it's more of a darker blue color. We can go through, we want a gold sword texture, so something like this, something like that will look pretty nice. So now we can take a look here, and we have a pretty nice looking gold sword. Now we want to go here, file, save as. This is very, very, very important. Go to sword pack, diamond sword. Make sure you type in gold underscore sword and make sure it's saved as a PNG. Then hit save, hit OK. And if I go to open, now I'll have this diamond sword and this gold sword in the sword pack folder. So I'm going to reselect the blade here, and what I'm pretty much going to do is now I'm going to make the wood sword, and the wood sword is actually probably the hardest to make. So let's get something like this. Wood is definitely the hardest because you have to get a color that's kind of brown. So normally what I do is I get an orangish color. So something like that, hit OK. Go to hue and saturation again. Go to 0. And you can just kind of change it up again. I'm going to make it a bit darker. And you can change this if you want a bit, just to experiment. Once again, it's all about kind of getting used to it. So I think I think this looks like a pretty decent wood texture. So there, that's nice. Now we have our wood sword. Once again, go to save as wood underscore sword.png. Hit save, hit OK. So now we're pretty much done with the hard stuff. And we're going to just go here, hue and saturation. And what you're going to want to do is take the saturation, put it all the way down. And let's make this a bit darker. Something like that. Hit OK. Now if you look, this is looking like a stone sword to me. That looks pretty nice. So I'll go to File, Save As, stone underscore sword. Hit save, hit OK. Now I'm going to reselect the blade, hue and saturation one last time. Go to lightness, boost it up a bit. Or actually what you should do is go back to when it was kind of a more wood texture, or one of the textures before stone, because stone is going to be pretty dark and it's going to be hard to fix. So go to one of the earlier textures, go here, make the lightness a bit higher with the saturation still all the way down. Hit OK. There we go. Now if I wanted to, I could go to hue and saturation one more time. Oops, I unselected the blade. I could go in one more time and kind of make it a bit lighter, so like that. Let's see. So now it is a bit lighter. If I go back all the way. Oops, what happened here? Oh no. What did I do? Shoot, I undid a lot of stuff. Whatever, I'm going to go back here. Adjustments, hue and saturation. There, that looks nice. Maybe a bit lighter right there. Perfect, there we go. I'm sorry, I don't really know what I did there. I kind of, no, I don't want razor set, I'm sorry now. Yeah, but now we have our iron sword texture. File, save as, iron underscore sword, save, hit OK. Now, so we now can go here into our sword pack and we'll see we have 5 very nice swords, but let's say we want something a bit more HD. So we're going to go to new folder. I'll just name this tutorial, and then you can pretty much take whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the resource pack, Faithful. I've got a lot of different Faithful texture packs, but I'm going to go to this remake one that I made of Preston Plays pack, and we'll see shovel. So I'm going excuse me, I'm going to use this as a base sword, which it looks very nice. I've used this sword before. It's you can get it pretty much anywhere, so it's not too hard to get. So I'll just drag it in there. That looks pretty nice. So then I'll go here, hit open, select desktop, tutorial, open, select diamond sword, open it up. Now here we have the diamond sword texture. We can see the resolution down here is 64 by 64. So I'll see, this recording's been going for 15 minutes. So what we're going to want to do is select this, or so yeah, whatever. Actually the first thing I'm going to do is go to image, resize 128 by 128, so two 128 by 128 swords, and just hit OK. Make sure it's on nearest neighbor once again, so you get something that looks like this. Then go to adjustments, no, not adjustments, go to effects, noise, and go to median. Now this looks awful and we want to fix it, so go to radius. The higher the radius is, the weirder it's going to look, but we want it lower. So like, if you like your sword kind of like this, I can understand that, but I like it a bit more pixelated. Percentile is going to be like how many pixels there are, how fine the pixels look. So I want something like this, pretty much. At 50, that should be good. So now we have this sword. It looks way more HD than the, like if I show you this sword looks way better. And then you can pretty much do whatever you want with the effects once again. So like if I can go to soften portrait, just do whatever I want pretty much. I don't know, I don't really care what I do with this sword. I don't know. Then you can pretty much just do what I talked about with these swords. Just transfer it on to the more HD one. And that about wraps it up, guys. That's the texture pack tutorial, how to customize your own swords. This can go for pretty much any item. And if you guys enjoy this, I can do more in the future. But once again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. And I will see you guys all later. Peace.